Hi Taurus, welcome to this reading. I hope you're well. Oh wow, this is big. The moon in reverse. Okay, we have Pisces energy here. But the moon reversed. Wow, your person wants you to know that they have had big realizations during this period of separation. Also, they could have been on a journey, down into the subconscious to see what's going on down there, to face some fears, to look at their own ways of showing up in this connection, particularly if this period of separation has kind of initiated the ending of a loop that you were both in. They may have turned around and looked at their part, what was their role in this? How were they showing up? Okay, messages from this person to my viewer. King of Pentacles in the reverse. I think there's been a good hard look at their 3D, how they are projecting themselves out into the world, where they're spending their time, their energy, their effort, who they're connecting with. I don't think they've actually spoken about this though with anyone, and they may kind of almost resent having to say, you know what, I did have a look at myself and my life and I'm not entirely happy with all the areas of it. I don't know if this is someone who can be prideful or a bit in their ego, or they like to seem like they have it all together. Someone who, if they form an opinion about something, they don't really like to change it. They will, if some information comes up and they decide, you know what, actually I think differently, but they almost don't want people to draw attention to the fact, like, oh, but didn't you used to say such and such? They just want it to go under the radar. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here reversed with the Eight of Swords reversed, every card reversed so far. So they want you to know they definitely have been looking at blockages, and if they have had a role to play here, and deciding that yes, to some degree they have. Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, did I say that? I can't remember. Okay, let's keep going. We have, yes, look, the Six of Wands. This is, oh, this is funny. This is someone who is very proud, and proud doesn't have to mean they are prideful or always in their ego. This could be, especially with the King of Pentacles, this could be someone who likes to, they know how to dress themselves, they like to look put together, they like their home to be nice, they like to just come across as someone who is comfortable, established. You can't really ruffle their feathers. I'm getting strong sort of Taurus energy here. They don't have to be Taurus or an earth sign, but I don't know, it's like I like to look good, I like to smell good, I like to seem put together, I like to give out the image that I'm not concerned about anything to do with home, work, finances, it's all under control, whether that's the reality or not. But this is someone who is very aware of how they are showing up in the world and how other people are perceiving them. And during this period of separation, if you have some kind of access to them, you see them, or you see them on social media or something, or you hear about them through other people, this is someone who has seemed that, maybe unbothered, everything has continued as usual for them, but that is not true. Internally, they've been doing lots and lots of self-reflection and asking themselves difficult questions, specifically possibly something that scares them around asking themselves how they have been perceived by you. There's almost something here where you've looked straight past this very consciously constructed version of themselves that they put out into the world, and you have seen something about them, maybe an insecurity or a fear or some kind of way of showing up that's not the most impressive. So maybe you said, oh, you're a bit stubborn, or I don't know, you're not being very empathetic, I don't know, whatever it is. You've kind of pointed something out about them. Maybe you've even said this, and at first they might have been like, excuse me, what? No. And they may have blocked you or gone silent or pushed you away, or maybe there was a bit of an argument. But actually what they've done since is sit down and ask themselves, I'm not stubborn, am I? It's that thing, is it a meme or something like that where the person's like, am I the drama? It's like they've sat down and asked themselves, hold on, is it me? And they've realised, at least to an extent, yes, it is them, or they have been doing whatever you've said or suggested to them. Okay. Yes, death, exactly. Okay, we have Scorpio here. I'm noticing how with the way these cards are placed on the table, she's looking back over her shoulder, almost at this guy on the horse. This horse is dressed in armor. This horse is not. You got behind their facade or the armor they were wearing, and they have gone through some kind of a transformation. And on the one hand, they might feel more vulnerable, but they also feel that the way they're trying to show up now in the world is more authentic. This could even be someone whose external reality reflects the changes within, especially if this separation has been quite some time and they've had time to make these tangible physical changes. For example, they could have changed job, they could have made a change in a family situation or in a relationship dynamic. So you know, you could actually know for a fact that their external reality is now mirroring the change that they experienced within through this self-reflection that I think may have been kick-started by something that happened between you both or something you said. Five of Pentacles reversed. Okay, specifically in relation to you in this connection, this is someone who does not enjoy being in separation from you. And it could be that they were initially very focused on themselves and this process of evolution and self-focus and change, and now they might be in a place where they're feeling pretty good, like they've come out the other side, they've re-established themselves, you know, in an equally good position, but it's more authentic now, and you know, they might feel that they're more impressive to you, or you know, something like that, just feeling more confident. So now they're saying, okay, I'm ready for this reconnection, but with the wheel reversed, I don't really know how to make this happen. Can you tell us, why is the Wheel of Fortune reversed? Seven of Cups reversed. So every idea they consider, it's like they're saying, well, that won't work. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Ten of Cups. They could also, if you know you are in a relationship with someone who is not this person, this person could be looking at you and trying to gauge, are you happy there? Would you welcome them coming forward, or would they be just wasting their time or humiliating themselves? If you know you're not in any sort of other situation, we do have, I'm noticing the King and the Queen of Pentacles both reversed, but both here. So there's a feeling that they want to come, you know, together with you in some kind of commitment, very stable, very manifested, visible, committed, potentially quite traditional, whatever that means to them and to you, and they can see the potential for lots and lots of happiness here, but it's almost like every way they consider coming forward, they feel like, you know, there might be pros and cons, or it just wouldn't work. It feels almost like it's something in their head. They think about this a lot, they imagine this a lot, you know, the next step to take here, but it doesn't feel within reach or something, or it doesn't feel like they've got a tangible, practical plan. Let's keep going. It could also be them saying, before I can come forward and make an offer, I need to get myself out of a situation that I am in. And just as an FYI, I feel they want you to know if they are married to someone else or in a committed relationship with someone else, with it being the King and Queen of Pentacles, there could even be children here. They want you to know that that they, your person, and this other person are not really getting on very well. You know, the King and Queen, as I said, are reversed, and I feel like you are their happy place. They go into their fantasies and maybe memories and these projections into the future of what they could have with you, and that brings them this Ten of Cups fulfillment. I feel there's a strong feeling, I'm getting Leo energy by the way, but there's a strong feeling that they are looking to you and you are unreadable right now. I don't know if you are giving nothing away, maybe you're not very visible in one way or another to this person, or you know, you're doing your own thing, but it's like they're looking over and trying to gather or to guess, you know, how interested exactly are you at this point? Do you think about me? Do you feel that I could bring you as much happiness as I think you could bring me? So I don't know if in the past you felt you were sort of a bit of a chaser here, or you were the one putting in effort, trying to move this forward, and then you pulled back, and that's what sparked all of this introspection and need for change and desire to change and to be more impressive in whichever way this person perceives, you know, to be impressive. But there is a concern right now, you know, what's your opinion of them? Do you think of them? Would you welcome them coming forward towards you? Okay, what else please? Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, can you clarify? So Age of Swords and the Six of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, Four of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Queen of Cups reversed. Well, that's everything that just came through. They want to make an offer. I think it might be sort of like a small thing to start with, just in case you're not interested, because with the Queen of Cups reversed, it's like at one point you were this Queen of Cups in the upright, giving freely to them, making it very, very clear that you were holding space for this connection and that you cared and all of that. But now a lot of this compassion and love maybe is channeled into yourself, and they're wondering, you know, do you still have a place for them? It's interesting though, this card, this Queen of Cups, she has two cups, so whichever way she's facing, she's sort of offering a cup out. So I feel like, yes, of course there are some feelings here, and I mean, you are watching this reading about them. They might know this intuitively, but in terms of the 3D, they're not being given anything. They're not being given any obvious signs. You're sort of keeping yourself to yourself and investing in yourself and doing your own thing. I will say, I'm noticing that there's a lot of almost like steam sort of coming out of these cups. So, you know, if we think of, we heat water up, and then it sort of starts to evaporate in the form of steam. So it rises up, it comes out. It's just a feeling of the liquid in the cups. The cups are not full anymore, and for some reason, in some way, through some kind of process of transmutation, what was in the cups is now leaking out or going elsewhere or going in other directions. So a couple of ways I could see this. If we think of the steam, we think of, say, like the Passion of Wands, we've got the heat, we've got the desire to take action combined with water. If there was all of this passion between you and it had nowhere to go, there was nowhere to direct it in terms of towards Pentacles, to ground it, to channel this energy into something that can grow, maybe it just, the steam rose up and left, you know, so when the water cools, we're going to have less than before, so there's less in the cup now, but it feels almost wasted. Or it could have been that if you felt, I'm giving and giving and I'm not getting anything back here, maybe it was a conscious effort to redirect the flow of this love or this emotion into yourself or into something else, maybe another project or something else, you know, maybe even another connection for some of you. So now there's less in this cup for this person here. And it might not be that that's true. It might be that your cup is as full as ever, but this is kind of what they're wondering, you know. You see how we sort of have the, looks like, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but we've got these kind of wisps coming out of the cups. This cup is pointed down, so if there was liquid in that, it would just pour out. Actually, it looks like there's blood pouring out. Yeah, I think for some of you, it's a feeling of, I've given so much here, I'm giving up, and it's sort of just pouring onto the floor. Your person could have felt this or seen this, and it's made them panic. Look how she's coming in from out of the cold. Page of Pentacles here. So something small, so they're not putting themselves completely out there, but genuinely concerned. You know, do you still have space here for me or not? Have you given this to yourself or to someone else? And now the compassion, the love, all of that, it's run out, or has it been a wasted opportunity? Did all, you know, the water and the heat, did they make steam together and it just evaporated and that's it? We didn't do anything with this. So that's a concern that they have, but they do want you to know they've been making changes. They are admitting here that they can be prideful and stubborn, but even without those things, they are actually someone who's quite concerned with how they look in the 3D, with their status, with being respected, admired. I think that's something about this person that hasn't changed, and it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, as long as they sort of aren't getting too egotistical and carried away with it, which they might have done in the past. But there's nothing wrong with being aware of how you're showing up in the world and wanting to be able to be proud of yourself, you know, as you move through the world. This is someone who's definitely got their eye on you and thoughts of reconciliation in their head. Okay, so let's get some messages from them to you. Okay, we've got a few. I'll take the ones I can see. Okay, we've got detachment. Yeah, look, I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. And this is the thing, even if they didn't choose to let this go, maybe you walked away, maybe something happened that pulled you both apart. This period of separation has allowed them to clear their mind. Look, and then shadow side, you made me realize my flaws. Exactly. That whole moon in reverse energy. I'm going into the shadow, my own shadow side, into all the things I've repressed about myself, and I'm going to examine them one by one. Values, we have too many differences, and then reflection, being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. Third party, there were other things that got in the way of us being together. We have time, I'm afraid it's too late to take action. Yeah, I mean, is there anything in that cup for me at this point? Escape, I left when things got hard. Yeah, oh, okay. I just got a message through and I was just seeing, do I have to say that? I feel like I do. For some of you, there's a real sexual message there, that this person may have found you to be a temptation, and you know, when they sort of felt like, gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to control myself anymore, they may have disappeared, and that could have left you very confused if you felt that you were getting on very well. So I don't know if, like I said, there are other connections going on right now that you're in, that they're in, maybe both of you, if it's a situation where there's like a professional boundary, or you know, something at work, but yeah. But values, we have too many differences, and escape. This card, I feel like it's an excuse card, and there's another card I think in this deck I'm about to use that has a similar message in it. For me, it's my excuse card. So yeah, no doubt, maybe you are very different in some ways, but I think in the past, instead of thinking, okay, how can we understand each other's point of view, this may have been someone who kind of felt like, well, you know, your life is very different to mine, or I disagree with what you're saying, and I'm just going to shut the door on that, and that's it. I won't sit and reflect and consider whether maybe this is a chance for me to expand in my thinking. You know, I don't want to be challenged. I know who I am. King of Pentacles, Six of Wands, that's it. Yeah, chaser, I don't want to chase anymore. That's interesting, because I feel that might have been an energy that you guys feel like you might have been in the past. Let me see, what are they talking about here? Chasing what? It is coming out in line with that Page of Pentacles offer, but I think for many of you, they may not even have extended this to you yet, so I don't understand how it's a chasing energy exactly. Tell us more about this message, please. Seven of Cups. Okay, so it's in their thoughts. They've been thinking about this for so long. And look, we've got the Chariot. I almost feel like they're jumping in the car and chasing after you. It's Cancer energy there. So yeah, they've been thinking about this so much. They might feel like they're chasing you, maybe chasing you energetically, or trying to keep up with what you're doing, or, you know. So they do feel like in some way they have been recently a bit of a chaser, but it's so internalized, I don't think it's even manifesting in the physical reality in any sort of way that you would be aware of actually at this point yet. So maybe they're just thinking, gosh, I'm fed up of these thoughts of me, you know, chasing you in my head. Maybe I should just go for it. Maybe I should just offer this offer to you and see if you know, if it's too late, or if you are still open to this connection. Okay, your words linger in my mind. Yeah, some of you said something to this person and it cut straight through their facade, and I think initially it triggered them, maybe it got their back up, they didn't like it, but actually they've really harnessed what you've said and thought about it and used it as a catalyst for some kind of growth or self-transformation. My mind and heart always comes back to you. The grass wasn't greener on the other side. I should have been more honest with you about how I was feeling at the time. So what was it? We've got too many differences with the values card, and then I left when things got hard. Oh my God, that message keeps coming through. For some of you, this person could have seemed very sexual in the past, but ungrounded with it, almost like they were giving that energy away to anyone they saw in the street. And for some of you, yes, they may have jumped into another connection that felt easier, that they now regret, than pushing through with you here. Okay, let's see. Oh, here it is, my excuses card. Maybe we're just too different. La la la. You know, yeah, maybe. But I just, when this card comes out, really makes me irritated, because I feel it's someone who's saying, well, I've had a brief look at the situation and it's far too difficult, you know, we should go our separate ways. They've not really sat down and tried. They've not thought about it. They've not talked it through. I can still feel you. We have, oh, just to say as well, you could have a very close energetic connection right now and even be dreaming of one another with that moon card coming out. I know I made a huge mistake, and look how so far this is the only white card. It's really standing out, and that's underneath the grass wasn't greener. So yeah, like I said, if they went off into another connection or back to a connection, it's a regret that they have now. I just wasn't ready for you. Yeah. So now they feel that they are, but now it's like, well, I've, you know, been doing something in the meantime that maybe, you know, you might not be able to get past, or might not want to get past, and also time has passed, so maybe you've moved on. These are the concerns that they're having. Okay, let's see. There's a link to this deck in the description box if you like it. I've never stopped loving you, I never will. For some of you, I think this person's, you know, hasn't even told you that they love you, or even, you know, that they have romantic feelings towards you. I feel unsafe, fragile and vulnerable right now, totally out of my element. Please pray for my protection while I figure out my way through this illusion into my power. Okay. And that is in line with the horse, you know, that I said it doesn't have its armor on anymore, so it might feel vulnerable, but at the same time there's almost like an exuberance and a confidence and a freedom in saying, well, this is who I am, I'm not pretending anymore. Yeah, look, I can feel you in the energetic realm. When you pray for me and talk to me telepathically, it's really helping me. Please keep it up. It's giving me faith. Oh my God, this, oh, this persistent message. This is the column with that sexual message, and I left when things got hard, you know, the double meaning there. Whether you know, whether you're watching for a man or a woman. Yeah, I don't know, please keep it up. Oh my God, this reading. Okay, right. Don't underestimate the power of our love. Expect a miracle in line with that Page of Pentacles offer. I'm still trying to get over my ex and related wounds. Please give me the space. Please give me space while I heal, and know once I lick my wounds, I'll come to you properly healed. I've really been through the ringer. So something kind of just ended in the practical realm. You know, we did have that King and Queen of Pentacles reversed. Some of my friends and or family don't approve of you, but I don't care. I'll be mourning those people if they don't come around to back me up on what truly makes me happy. I know it'll be sad, but for the best. I want to call or visit so badly, but I have so much to do right now before I feel I can give you the time and attention you deserve, but I'm working you up my list of priorities. That's a promise. Okay, I'm afraid I'll push you away out of feeling unworthy. Let me work on myself. Sorry, let me work on loving myself. I know I can do this, and I really don't want to lose you. You are my everything. Okay, so this chaser energy, that could be them preempting that they may end up chasing you if they come forward too soon and they're not ready, because you might look at them and think, no thanks, you know, and then they'll end up chasing you. So they could be preempting this, you know, a flip potentially in like a runner-chaser dynamic here. Okay, and let's just get a few cards to have a look at where they want to direct your attention in terms of perhaps what's going on for them in the 3D, any changes they've been making. Sometimes we get zodiac signs coming out with these messages. Okay, we have sneaky. So this could be a sneaky person, or someone who, someone who, I'm not getting like a sinister sneaky, someone who's good at kind of watching without being seen, that kind of an energy. This is someone who reads between the lines. They're more interested in the things you're not saying than what you are saying. Someone who might research you before they next see you, but you won't know they've done that, you know, that kind of a thing. Okay. It's not just lust, it's love. Okay, well, I mean, maybe they feel they need to reassure you of that with all the sort of lusty messages coming through in today's reading. We have Sagittarius coming out, which we did have with the Wheel of Fortune. We have self-depreciating. So this could be someone with a self-depreciating sense of humour, or they could use their humour to cover up any actual insecurities that they have. But clearly some kind of self-deflection here. They don't like to feel exposed, and you really saw straight to the core of who they were. Which I think triggered them, like I said, at some point. We have unresolved mother issues, so that could be their issues, there could be a child involved and they're dealing with the child's mother, maybe father, or it could just be unresolved issues with the feminine energy, external feminine energies, their own feminine energy. So maybe they're showing up in like sort of a hyper masculine, almost distorted masculine energy to overcompensate for the fact that they feel uncomfortable in their own feminine energy. So someone who's very controlling, you know, we did have that real focus on how am I perceived by people out in the world? I need to control. Maybe now they're realizing they can only control what people think of them or how people perceive them to a point. When's the next bus out of here? Okay, where are they trying to go? Let's write a book together. Okay, so that's like let's make so many memories together that we could fill a book. Let me see, which deck do I want to use? This one. Where are they trying to escape from? Oh, I just saw the Magician reversed with the Chariot. So Gemini energy, Cancer energy, but maybe getting away from a situation that feels fake, because the Magician reversed to me is, you know, someone who isn't actually in their power. They just want people to think they are. So a situation that looks good on the surface. It could literally be a Gemini, but a Gemini who's in a low vibration that they're trying to get away from. Okay, when's the next bus out of here? Oh, yeah, 10 of Wands reversed. They are done with something, with a situation. Okay, what else? Queen of Cups reversed. When was that? I think it might have been the Twin Flame reading I did Tuesday just gone. So if you haven't watched that, you might have more messages in that reading, whether you identify this connection as a Twin Flame connection or not. But there was this energy in that reading, someone who's either emotionally manipulative, dependent, emotionally unstable, but a kind of sneaky, insidious energy. I mean, we do have sneaky here, but I'm getting a different kind of sneaky from this reversed Queen of Cups. Like it's deliberate and it's with sinister intentions, maybe to control. Page of Wands reversed and the King of Pentacles. So yeah, and this king is looking over his shoulder into the future. So for some of you, this person is entangled with someone else, whether it's a partner, parent, you know, we do have unresolved mother issues, some person in dominant low vibrational feminine energy that they want to get away from, but there's some practical reason that they're tied to this situation. Page of Wands could be a child, maybe a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius child, but you know, if there's no child, I feel it's your person saying, Page of Wands, I want to go off on an adventure to come towards you, you know, we'll write a book together, we'll create all these memories, we'll have fun, but right now you know, I've got this situation to deal with first. And we did see a lot of that in these message cards here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here, but thank you for watching. I hope this resonated or that there were some helpful messages here for you. As I said, let me know if you've got any thoughts or any requests for a Valentine's Day reading, whether it's like a collective, pick a card, you know, whatever you fancy. And yeah, I will see you soon. Bye.